Hi guys, welcome back to this channel. Thanks for stopping by and watching our previous video about the best action comedy anime. Before we get started, be sure to hit the like button and ring the notification bell for more videos. Here's the list of the best action comedy anime part 2 you can watch in your leisure time. We hope you enjoy this. Number 10 is The Law of Ueki. An anime that's quite old but still interesting because it takes the unique supernatural elements of each existing character, starting from the power of turning trash into trees, then turns the power of turning towels into iron, and many more. The Law of Ueki was an anime released in spring 2005 with a total of 51 episodes animated by Dance Studio. It was adapted from a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Tsubasa Fukuchi, which began released in Shogakukan's Weekly Shonen Sunday from August 2001 to October 2004. It centers in a world where supernatural powers have become common. A tournament was held to determine who becomes the king of the celestial world. Then, each of the future kings must choose a middle student to act as their power user. The students will be given various unique abilities and ordered to eliminate as many enemies as possible. Number 9 is Ace trying to pick up girls in a dungeon. Better known as Danmachi, this anime was primarily released in spring 2015, which has 3 seasons in airing. The anime was adapted from a Japanese light novel series written by Fujino Omori and illustrated by Susuhito Yasuda. Besides, a spin-off light novel series titled Ace trying to pick up girls in a dungeon on the site Sword Oratoria began in January 2014, and another spin-off light novel series titled Ace trying to pick up girls in a dungeon Familia Chronicle, illustrated by Nelitsu, began in March 2017. The story takes place in the fictional city of Orariato, when gods all come down seeking excitement, limiting their divine powers to perceive and experience the hardships that thrive on the lower world. Offering mortals to fight monsters asserted in an underground labyrinth known as dungeon. The story follows the exploits of Belgranel, a 14-year-old solo adventurer under the goddess Hestia, where he was the only member of the Hestia Familia. Number 8 is Bungo Stray Dogs. Lifting the main genre of mystery that's full of action, Bungo Stray Dogs doesn't forget to add an element of comedy inside the anime. Having a plot that tells the story of the life of the mafia, this anime has 2 seasons airing. The first season was aired in spring 2016 and the second one was aired in fall 2016. It was adapted from a Japanese manga series written by Kafka Asagiri and illustrated by Sengo Harukawa. It began serialization in Seinen Manga's magazine owned by Kadokawa Shoten Young since 2012. The series follows the members of the armed detective agency throughout their everyday lives. The show mainly focuses on the werewolf Atsushi Nakajima, who joins other gifted with supernatural powers to accomplish different tasks, including running a business, solving mysteries, and carrying out missions assigned by the mafia. Number 7 is Toriko. One of an anime adaptation of a Shonen Jump adapted from a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Mitsutoshi Shimabukuro. It follows the adventures of Toriko, a gourmet hunter, as he searches for rare diverse foods to complete a full-course meal. The planet of Toriko is separated into 2 parts, the human world and the gourmet world. The human world is where modern civilization exists and occupies just 30% of the planet, and the rest is the gourmet world, which is inhospitable to most humans due to the strength of the wildlife and extreme climate changes. The story follows the journey of Toriko, a gourmet hunter searching for the most precious foods in the world so he can create his full-course meal. A man with an human ability, he utilizes his incredible strength and knowledge of the animal kingdom to capture ferocious, evasive, and rare beasts to further his menu. Number 6 is Soul Eater. Soul Eater was an action comedy anime adapted from a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Atsushi Akubo. Set at the Death Weapon Meister Academy, the series revolves around 3 teams, each consisting of a weapon meister and at least one weapon that can transform into a humanoid. It was primarily aired in spring 2008 with a total of 51 episodes animated by Bones Studio. Set in Death City, Nevada, United States, Death Weapon Meister Academy is run by Shinigami, also known as Death, as a training facility for humans with the ability to transform into weapons, as well as the wielders of those weapons called Meisters. Soul Eater Evans, Demon Scythe, who seems to care only about something impressive, aims to become Death Scythe with the help of user Maka Alba, a combination of 2 contrasting figures who work and study together. Soul Eater follows the Shibuya students as they carry out a mission to gather souls and protect the city from the threat of the world while working together under the scorching sun to become healthier in mind, body, and soul. Number 5 is Blood Lot. Blood Lot was an action comedy anime telling the story of an otaku vampires. Blood Lot was aired in summer 2013 with a total of 10 episodes animated by Brain-Based Studio. It was adapted from a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Yuki Kodama and became serialized in young age. It follows Taz, a vampire from the surreal demon world, who meets Fuyumi Yanagi, an ordinary Japanese high school girl who accidentally wanders into the demon world through a portal. Shortly after their meeting, Fuyumi is killed by a carnivorous plant and turned into a ghost, causing Taz to take responsibility and pledge to help bring her back to life. Number 4 is Reborn. Having a complete title Katekyo Hitman Reborn, the anime was adapted from a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Akira Amano. It follows Tsunayoshi Sawada, a young boy who discovers that he's next in line to become boss of the Vongola family, a powerful mafia organization. The series was aired in fall 2006 and ended in 2010 with a total of 203 episodes. The story began with a boy named Tsunayoshi, or commonly called Asuna. He's chosen to become the 10th boss of the Vongola family, and he's the great-great-great-grandson of the first Vongola boss. The Vongola 9, as the current head of the family, sends Reborn, an infant hitman from Italy, to train the reluctant Suna. Number 3 is Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is a Japanese science fiction anime television series animated by Sunrise and created by a production team built as Hajime Yatate, led by directors Shinichiro Watanabe, screenwriter Keiko Nobumoto, and character designer Toshihiro Kawamoto. The series includes 26 episodes and was primarily aired in 1998. The series is set in the year 2071 and followed the lives of a bounty hunter crew traveling in their spaceship called the Bebop. It was started over 50 years ago, after an accident with a hyperspace gateway made the Earth almost uninhabitable. Humanity has colonized most of the rocky planets and moons of the solar system. The series protagonists are bounty hunters working from the spaceship Bebop. The original crew are Spike Spiegel, an exiled former hitman of the criminal Red Dragon Syndicate, and Chad Black, a former ISSP officer. Number 2 is Fairy Tail. Having a theme around the lives of wizards, Fairy Tail became one of the most successful anime with more than 300 episodes, which began airing in fall 2009. It was adapted from a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Hiro Mashima, who began serialization in Kodansha's Weekly Shonen magazine from August 2006 to July 2017, with the individual chapters collected and published into 63 tankobon volumes. The series has also inspired numerous spin-off manga, including a prequel by Mashima, Fairy Tail Zero, and a sequel storyboarded by him, titled Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest. Set in the world of wizards, where all wizards culted as guild apply the magic for pet job requests. The story follows Natsu Dragneel, a dragon slayer wizard from the Fairy Tail Guild, and the Kingdom of Yori. The story will tell the journey of Natsu alongside his friends and their fun together in the guild that looks like family. Number 1 is My Hero Academia. This anime is full of action but does not eliminate the typical comedy element of this anime. My Hero Academia began airing in spring 2018, animated by Bond Studio, which was adapted from a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Kohei Horikoshi. The story follows Izuku Midoriya, a boy born without superpowers called quirks, in a world where they have become commonplace. One day, he's scouted by All Might, Japan's greatest hero, who chooses Midoriya as his successor and shares his quirk with him after recognizing his potential, and later helps to enroll him in a prestigious high school for heroes in training. Well, that's all the list of the best action comedy anime part 2. Do you have any favorite ones on the list? If you do, let us know in the comment section below. Be sure to hit the like button and share this video as much as you can to your friends if you really enjoyed this. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time.